Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am coming to you with um, a video um, about something that we all should be aware of, especially when we get to be a certain age. Today, my subject matter is going to be about colon cancer, screenings, myths, and everything in between. Let's get started. Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop
auntie
boop.
that you can make this up. Now you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers. Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. So why even bother? Aunties and lies, sweet old auntie. Aunties and ways. Are you okay? Are you okay? Well, hello everybody and welcome back. And this is Auntie. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining this family. And to all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul. Thank you all so much for your continued support. I was supposed to do this video back in March, but because things got so crazy, I wasn't able to do so. The topic that I'm going to be talking about today is colorectal cancer and colon screening. And I'm going to be sharing some of my story. If you are a member of my main channel, Auntie's Advice, then you already know what has happened, how I'm doing, and all that. But if you are not a member of Auntie's Advice, then this is the first time you're going to be hearing this story. Um, I'm going to be putting my glasses on because I'm going to be reading you all some facts. Everything that I will be discussing in this particular video, I will be putting down in the description box for you all to be able to click the link and get information, further information about colorectal cancer and screenings. Okay. Okay. Um, so a couple of weeks ago now, maybe. Let me see. I want to give you all a really good. Just one second. I need to pull it up because I want to give you all a good time frame in which I am sharing from. So if you all can just hold on for 1 second. Um, okay. So I think I have a good time frame. So back in February of this year, um, I had some health issues that it came up. I did not share the health issues on my main channel because I did not want people to be concerned. And I don't want you all to be concerned today. But I didn't want people to be concerned about me. And so, as a content creator, there's not a lot of information that you are, really able to share with your general public, right? Or your subscribers or things like that, because you don't want, like I said, people to be afraid or to, um, how can I say this? Let me leave it like that. You don't want people to just, get up in arms about it. And when you're going through a faith walk, sometimes you have to walk that faith walk on your own and you have to walk it alone. And sometimes when you are walking a fear walk, you have to walk it with God. And so back in February, I started having some health issues. And I could not, at first, I did not know what the health issues were. As you all know, I have lost a significant amount of weight. I had started during a pandemic. I was like, I'm not going to sit in this house and be fat. And so I embarked on my journey to begin to lose weight. And I started with Weight Watchers. Once I lost, like, my first 25 pounds, I I believe that I got enough information. I began to do intermittent fasting along with reducing my caloric intake, etc., etc. So surprisingly to me, I started getting sick in February of this year, and I was like, what in the crap is going on with me? I had all actually had a hospital stay during that time period, but you keep it to yourself because you're a content creator and you don't want to um scare anybody. And so I went through that. For all of you all who are following me over there, I'm sure you realize that there was a time period that I wasn't doing videos. And so I was in the hospital and for a couple of days, and they discovered that and you got some stuff going on with you and you need to see a primary care physician and have some things checked out. So when I went to go and see my primary care physician, I decided to get a new one because I felt like the one that I had wasn't doing the things that I needed her to do. Sometimes you have to realize when you outgrow your medical provider and when you need to make a change. And because things had started going downhill, or at least I was having these health scares, I was like, you know what? It's time for me to change. So as a result, when you go to a new primary care physician, you have to write down all of your family history and all that kind of stuff because your files aren't transferred immediately. And so when I sat down with my new physician, I wanted to make sure that I had an African American physician, a black woman, because I needed someone who understood um, the things that I have experienced in life, the things that come along with being African American. I needed someone that I could relate to and who could relate to me. And it's not that I believe that other physicians were not capable of doing that. And I think that some of them are. However, for me, my choice has always been to have someone who could represent me in every area because of their own experiences like my own. So when I sat down with this doctor, of course, I always tell you all I'm closer to 60 than I am to 50. And I sat down with this doctor and she said, I'm looking at your family history. You're having these health issues that are coming up. I'm looking at your family history and I see that your mom passed away from colon cancer. And I said, yes, she did. And she said, well, this is first line. Like, this is the first line. Have you had a colonoscopy? And I said, no, I have not had one at all. And so, it surprised me that I was so cavalier about it, but I had allowed fear over over time to cause me to be very numb to it. I did not. I didn't even think about the severity of it, but I did think about the severity of it. I knew that there was, with any kind of family history, there's always a possibility that certain things can be passed down, through the bloodline. And here it is, I'm over 50, well over 50, and have not had a colonoscopy. And it just simply was out of fear of the unknown or fear of the known. I think that a lot of times we, as parents or as women, as moms, we take care of everybody else. But then when it comes down to us, we don't take care of us. We make every excuse sometimes to just not take care of ourselves, our wellness, our weight, and other issues that we may be going through. And so during this talk with my new physician, she said, look, we're not going any further until you get a colonoscopy. Now, I had, as I explained to my members, every symptom of colon cancer. I want to give you all those symptoms, if I can. And I want to give you all some of the stats. This is going to be coming from the Colon Cancer Coalition.org. And it says 1 in 24 people develop colon cancer. Colorectal cancer is the second deadliest cancer, but the number one preventable cancer. Doesn't that sound like an oxymoron? It is the most common, the second most common, but it is the most preventable cancer that we can get. The symptoms of colorectal cancer can be no symptoms at all. Now, these are coming from the Cancer Coalition. You don't have to have any symptoms of colon cancer, but there are symptoms and things that you should look at. Okay? Things that you should consider. It says if you were born in the 90s, you have 2 times the risk of colon cancer and 4 times the risk of rectal cancer than those born in 1950. Now, these are stats. I am not a doctor. Let me say that. Let me make that clear. I am not a doctor. I am reading to you from the colon cancer coalition. They indicate that if you were born in the 90s, you have 2 times the risk of colon cancer and 4 times the risk of rectal cancer than those who were born in 1950. Isn't that something? So here I am, sitting in a doctor's office, have a history of colon cancer, past past my mid 50s, and haven't been screened. Fear can kill you. Period. It can kill you. And here I am having to think about my whys and my why nots. What are my whys for being here? And what are my whys nots for not ensuring that I'm here? See, there's some things that we can control and some things we can't. Thank you, doctor. Thank you, nurse. My why is my daughter. It's my why. Why wouldn't I get it done? My why nots, I'm scared that I may be like my mom. I'm scared that out of all my siblings, I may be the one who has it. But my why had to be greater than my why nots. So I immediately came home. Now, mind you, prior to this, every year I kept saying, I'm going to go and get this done. I've got to get past this fear. I got to go and get this done. Like, I got to get this done. But because I had started having other things happen with my health, I needed to move forward with it. Making that phone call to schedule my colonoscopy was one of the hardest things I've done in a long time. But I know I needed to do it. So I call, I schedule my appointment, and they tell me it's time. This is the date. We just had a cancellation. And so we've got a date next week. We're going to send you this prescription, and you're going to drop this prescription off, and you're going to start taking it. We're scheduling you. I was scheduled like a week and a half out. They had a cancellation. So I was like, oh my God. See, in my mind, I knew what my why was, but my heart was still afraid. But I knew I needed to get it done in order to move forward in other areas of my life. So I went and got my prescription, and I got my prescription for this. So back in the day when my mom, who passed away from colon cancer in May of 1989, my mom had to drink all this Ducalax. I mean, take all this Ducalax and all of that stuff and clean herself out. I was young. I remember it like it was yesterday. And so I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna have to drink from this cotton freaking thing. I just, it's like, oh my God, I gotta drink all this nasty, chalky. But there's a medicine that is on the market, and it's called Sutab. And this is what I took. Now, I did not follow the instructions that came along with Sutab. I followed the instructions that came along with my doctor. And so Sutab, inside of this is the pills. And so I'd heard about the pills. I talked to my daughter about the pills, who was in the pharmaceutical industry, and she was like, "Mom, get the pills." Um, this came with a bottle, a cup, okay, and two. Let me help there. Let's see if the camera. Come on, camera. Focus, 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 focus. I needed to focus. There we go. So it came with two of these, And inside of each one of these, I believe it has 12 tablets. So I had to split the tablets up, drink, take the pills, wait, drink more water, wait. And this is the way that, you get cleaned out, because you need to be cleaned out before you get your colonoscopy, right? Now, mind you, you're gonna be stressed out. I was stressed out of my mind, but I followed the instructions to a T. First day, I'm fine. I'm doing what I do with the whoop whoop and the boop boop boop. The second day, not so well. I get up 5 o'clock in the morning to start my next round of 12 pills, and I can't keep nothing down. But by this time, about maybe about half hour after taking these pills, okay, our sister was going to the bathroom. Make sure you got plenty of toilet paper and you got your own private bathroom. Okay. So that started happening almost immediately. I went back and forth to the bathroom. It, like when I say it cleans you out, it cleans you out, and it does not take a lot of time. So I'm going through this. I'm processing in my mind. How am I going to go through with this? Because mind you, I'm still in fear. I'm not feeling my very best at all. And so, I know that this is something that I've got to do. I've come too far. I finally got the courage and the guts to get this done. And so I get it done. Thank you so much, Brittany Lynn, for the $4.99 super chat. My mom was just diagnosed with breast cancer and is having a double mastectomy next week. She only found it because of her mammogram. Stay healthy. Amen, Brittany. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we wish healing on your mom and healing in your heart as well as you support her. So, absolutely, Mama Bubbles. She said that it's good to know that there is an alternative out there. I'm going to ask my doctor about it. I can barely get the gallon of chalk down. And that was my concern. But this right here, it gets the job done. Some people have indicated that they don't like your Mama Bubbles, but I could not have probably cleaned myself out because I have really bad gag reflex. Gag reflexes, right? Reflex. So if you're like me and you gag off of stuff, honey, I knew I wasn't gonna get no cotton freaking chalky mess down my throat. So I have a conversation with my daughter. I tell her what's going on. Of course, I have to. She has to drive me there and drive me back. I don't want to really express my fear because we feel like our kids can't handle it. But at a certain age, we got to tell them. And we have to prepare them for what could be. And me having every symptom, um I had to be very open with her about where I was. So according to the lancastergeneralhealth.org, it says know the symptoms of colon cancer. Although many times people show no signs of colon cancer, check with your doctor if you experience any of the following symptoms. So I'm going to give you all these symptoms and I'm going to tell you how many I had. A change in bowel habits, constipation, diarrhea, or feeling that your bowel doesn't completely empty. Stools that are narrower than usual. Blood, bright red or very dark in your stool. Rectal discomfort. Frequent gas pains, bloating, fullness, or cramps in your abdomen. Weight loss. Feeling tired and weak. So out of the 7 symptoms, I had six. Six of the symptoms of colon cancer. Now, I had gotten to the point where when I would have the blood in my stools, I would take pictures of it. So if you have any of these symptoms or something that you think looks different or feels different, or you're having bleeding, take a picture of it so that you can document that date. And I know that sounds gross, but take a picture of it so you can document that date and so you can show it to your doctor. Now, I had told my doctor, my new primary care physician, that I did have this, but I believe that it was hemorrhoids. So showing her the picture of it, she did not want to rule it in or out. Okay. But she said that, it could be hemorrhoids, right? Because I'm an old, I was going to say hoe, but I'm an old woman, right? And so I'd shown her the pictures that I had taken of it. And of course, that was just, like a button for her to push urgent, 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 which was fine with me because at this point, I want to feel better. So I began to discuss these things with my daughter and let her know, these are the symptoms that I've been having. This is where I am. Um, I want to make sure you're okay. She said, Mom, I'm okay. We're going to go to the doctor and we're going to get a chat. Never one time had any fear, nothing negative to say, wasn't worried, wasn't stressed, stood with me when I took my Sutabs, got up with me in the morning when I was taking my second doses of it, everything, just right there. Help me with my clothes, go out to the place, I'm there. Drops me off, and because of the pandemic, of course, you can't have anybody in there with you. And so I'm going through the process of about to go through with this. And I'm praying that I don't have this. And that if I do, that I've caught it in an early enough stage and that I can endure it. The Bible says that the some of our worst fears, if we don't deal with them, they can come upon us. And I just didn't want to have any more fear anymore. I wanted to know, do I or do I not? Is it or is it not? So I went through the procedure. I woke up and I am happy to say I did not have it. There were 2 polyps that they found in my system. One that was benign, and the other one they ruled as inconclusive, could be, couldn't have been. They said it more than likely looked like it could have been. So I want to talk about what is a polyp. So a polyp, it says the large majority of polyps will not become cancers. Certain types of polyps are more likely to turn into cancer. Removal of polyps during a colonoscopy reduces the risk of developing colon cancer in the future. Um, there was another one. A colon polyp is a small clump of cells. Okay, I want to make sure that I give you all the education. Okay, these are things that I wish I had known or things that I wish I had done. It's so important that we check our cheeks. It's important that we check our breasts. It's important that we go through physicals every year and that we take good care of our health. I'm not the best at some things, but some things I am. But I want to make sure I give you the education because I don't want to talk about something without giving you resources and information. Now, again, I'm going to put the link to all of these articles that I'm reading from in the description box because, again, I'm not a doctor. I am only talking about my experience. So, a colon polyp is a small clump of cells that forms on the lining of the colon. Most colon polyps are harmless, but over time, some colon polyps can develop into colon cancer, which may be fatal when found in its later stages. Anyone can develop colon polyps. You're at risk if you're 50 or older, are overweight, or a smoker, or have a personal or family history of colon polyps or colon cancer. Colon polyps often don't cause symptoms. It's important to have regular screening tests, such as the colonoscopy, because colon polyps found in the early stages can usually be removed safely and completely. The best prevention of colon cancer is regular screening for and removal of polyps. Now, because I had already had a family history of this, my siblings had colonoscopies as well. I think my oldest sister, who's like in her mid 60s, was squeaky clean. The rest of us had polyps. And so any one of us could have been my mom. Any one of us at any time could have been my mom. And so it's important that if you have a family history of something, that you get on top of it. And then when you get on top of it, you stay on top of it. Now, because there was two polyps that was found in my body, I now have to be screened every 2 to 3 years. So it'll be like a party because they did find it. I'm sorry to hear that, Jazzy. I'm so sorry to hear about your loss. And that's why, even though March is colon cancer month, um, and even though I missed March, I knew that this message was just important for me to talk about because there may be one person who comes here who needs to hear this. And I'm so sorry to hear about your brother. One of the things that I did not realize was that colon cancer is one cancer that can often be easily prevented. It's almost always starts with a small growth called a polyp. When they are found early and removed during a colonoscopy, colon cancer can be stopped even before it starts. While colonoscopy is the gold standard in screening, y'all, other tests to detect colon cancer are available, and that includes stool-based testing, okay, barium enemas, and CT virtual colonoscopies. Okay. My suggestion is that you talk with your doctor about it. They are starting to find it in people younger and younger. So if you have a family history of colon cancer, get on top of it. Get on top of it for you and for your children. Make sure that they are aware of your family history. And I know some people, because of different events that have happened in their life, don't have a good sense of what is in their family history. But if you know, get on top of it. Get on top of it. Um, Here are a few ways, y'all, to prevent colon cancer. Maintain a healthy body weight. That will reduce your risk. Stay physically active and find creative ways to keep moving. Eat a well balanced diet. Make fruits and vegetables a big part of your diet. Eat whole grains rather than refined grain products. Avoid processed meats. Limit your red meat in your diet. Limit your alcohol consumption. And if you use tobacco, quit. Better yet, never start. Okay. There was something else I wanted to share with you all. I need to find it really quick. Just 1 second. And it's about women. I wanted to bring up some stats about women. So colon cancer is not just a man's disease. Okay. And so I gave you all the symptoms. You may think colon cancer is mainly a man's disease, but the truth is, women, almost as many women as men are diagnosed with colorectal cancer. And according to the American Cancer Society, each year in the United States, about 64,000 women are diagnosed with colorectal cancer. It is the third most common cancer in men and women, and the second leading cause of cancer related death. Your lifetime risk of developing it is 1 in 20. So it's important that you know how to prevent it and what the symptoms are. It's very important. When I left out of the clinic, out of the office, I got in the car and I told my daughter, I said, you never wavered. Um, you never had any fear. You were always positive about it. And she said, Mom, I had already determined in my mind that you didn't have it. But if you did, we was going to fight together. And it let me see the strength in my child and the strength of telling the truth and being clear with our children and not passing on fear. And knowing that when our kids get to be a certain age, they can handle it. Even when we think that they can't. All this time I had a soldier in my army that I never tested their ability to fight with me and for me. But I'm so glad that that is past. I woke up that day with a new perspective on a lot of things that I feel. Let's suppose that I did not get it done when I did. There was no way I would have been able to prevent what could have or would have happened because I didn't put my health out there first. When I came back from my colonoscopy, I talked to my loved ones first, of course, my immediate family. I thank my brother because he was one of the ones who had pushed for me to go and get it taken care of. And then I went to my members immediately and I began to share my story with them. And I allowed myself to be vulnerable, to tell the truth about where I was, why I was absent from my main channel, and what I had experienced. And I want you all to know that screening is everything. Not walking in fear can be conquered. It's one step at a time. Here it is. I should have been screened years ago. I really should have started in my 40s, especially with my mom having it. But I just was so afraid that I just didn't get it done. Things have changed. You don't have to drink that chalky stuff anymore. You can take these pills. I believe that there's some other things, other products that are out on the market that may be suitable for you. Um, and you can get this done. It is very preventable. I'm glad that I got my cheeks checked, and I advise you to get yours done too. Since you sleep through the whole thing, by the time they put you to sleep, you waking up. You don't even realize you went to sleep until you woke up. Okay? And you're feeling a little, okay, you're feeling a little Hennessy and Coke like-ish. Okay, a little gin and tonic-ish. But it's so worth it. Years ago, there were some things that were another fear that I had to overcome, and that was the fear of the dentist. And that was a hard hurdle for me to jump. And I may come and talk about my story time, about give you all a story time about that, because that was just a huge, huge hurdle for me to get past, was going to that damn dentist. Like, even just the fear, the thought of going to a dentist will make me damn near pass out. It's amazing, the mind, and how it'll play tricks on us, and how it will have us into captivity. The dentist, my fear of the dentist wasn't from just fear, it was from experiences. Dentists in 2022 are not like dentists in 1970 and 80. The dental industry has come a long way, and they have methods and better bedside manners than they did back in the 70s and the 80s, honey, when I was going. Good googity goo goo. So I'm hoping that this story helps somebody. You want me to share that, EJ? Okay, I will. I'll share that, because I'm telling you now, even when I go now, it's an ordeal. Um, but I share with them my story. And one of the things that I can say about that is that I wish that I had went to a cosmetic. I've learned now with my new dentist is that I wish I had went to a cosmetic dentist from the giddy up, not just a regular dentist practice. For me, I wish I had done that earlier, because they have the tools, the equipment, the patience, the wherewithal to tolerate my black ass acting a fool from the door, to the point where you got to give me everything you can give me, including volumes, just to get me to come up in that can. Like, going up in there hiding, and then getting gas and knocked out, and anesthesia, local, far distance, to Jamaican, like whatever you got to knock me out, knock me the fuck out. That's how much fear that I have of the dentist. I'm getting better. I'm not all the way there, but I'm getting better. If you have a cosmetic dentist and they have 4 or 5 stars, this dentist that I go to is a 5-star dentist. Um, and he's a cosmetic dentist. He's a cosmetic surgeon. And you say you still hated to book. What? It's real. You know how they say that fear is false evidence appearing real? It appears very real. And excuse me, some of it is real. It's not false. It's not false. Feel fear is almost tangible, but we got to get past it so that we can get to our why. What is your why? Why would you get it done? What motivates you to get it done? What do you love more than your own life? You got to figure out what that why is. So I really wanted to share this, y'all. Hope y'all got something out of it. I am cancer free. Don't have any cancer whatsoever. No more polyps up in my body. Okay. Those cheeks are good, honey, and ready to be bit. 10. Okay. I love you all to pieces. Thank you all so much for coming to hear my story. Bye, y'all.